Okay, today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is snap indicators and modes, which is part 4 of my series on things you may or may not know about snapping in Xara. The first thing we're going to talk about is snap indicators. A snap indicator basically is shown when a snap occurs. The mouse pointer changes to a magnet to show that the snap has occurred, and there are other indicators as well. A red dot will appear at points, right, to show that a point has snapped. A blue line will appear to show that a snap is happening to some feature of an object, right? So lines at the top are aligning, that kind of thing. And orange lines appear to show a snap to a page feature, something like the corner, the edge, or the center. Okay, so that's snap indicators. Let me show you them real quick. I'm going to move this purple rectangle towards the yellow rectangle. I'm going to make it so that both the blue lines and the red dots appear. So already I'm approaching this, and because I've snapped to this line here, right? So this horizontal line, the tops of both objects are snapping together. When I move this back and forth, you can see that blue line has already appeared. Also, the red dots have appeared at the top to indicate that those points are aligning, and my mouse pointer, you'll notice, has now become a magnet. Yeah. So if I go back up here, then I get that those lines. And if I hook it up to the edge so that I'm aligning along this edge and along this edge, right? Boom, there you go. I'll show it to you again. I should get my blue line in both directions, one going across the top, one going down, and I get my three red dots, one at each of these corners. Yeah. So those are some indicators there. If I'm aligning it to the page, I should get an orange line across the page. It's kind of hard to see for me right now because I've got what do you call it, guidelines on, but I can see that the actual snapping line is kind of fading in and out to show me that it's actually there. All right, so those are the indicators. Next thing I'm going to talk about is snapping modes. And snapping modes occur. You can turn them on and off while dragging. The modes are only active for that current drag, and there are 3 different keys that you can use to change the snapping modes. The first one I've already talked about slightly. So when I start dragging this, I'm dragging around. If I press S, I turn on or I override basically the snap to objects setting, right? So I did have snap to objects on. By pressing S, I've turned it off. If I turn it back on again, all of a sudden I'm snapping to objects again. Yeah? That's the first one. The next key is the G key. This is group snapping. Typically, when this is a group right here, right? If I try to snap to things in this group, I can only snap to the outer edges of the group and to the center of it, right? To save on memory for, for general working purposes. Generally, basically the wise designers at Xara have decided that they would save some processing speed by only letting you snap to the outsides. But sometimes you do want to snap to objects inside a group. So like I say, while you're doing a drag, if you press G, now all of a sudden I can snap to objects inside the group, not just outside, but it's only good for the current drag, like I say. So once I do this, once I let go of it and go again, seems to be working again now. Yeah, okay, that center one is just the center of the entire group. All right, so that works as expected. And then the last one is angled snapping. Let me do this. Let me create a second version, and actually let me angle this first, and then I'll create another version of it. So there's one, and there's another. And what I'm going to do is, while I'm dragging this, I'm going to turn on angle snapping by pressing the A key. And then you can see I can get angled snapping so that the angle stays constant from one object to the next. You can see those blue lines coming up, or I could go all the way to the edge and I would get a kind of a 90-degree angle with the angle going through it, right? So that's how that angled snapping works. Anyway, those are the different snapping modes and the snapping indicators. And this ends my section on everything there is to know about snapping, or things you may or may not know about snapping. And I hope you found it useful and interesting, and we'll come back to this many times over. Have a good day.